Hi, in this video I'm going to talk about being in your car and being broke. I was watching another a vlogger, and actually a couple of them, and they were talking about some of these issues, like if you're in your car, basically what do you do if you're in your car and you're broke, or should you live in your car when you're broke, whatever. But anyway, in this video, I'm going to talk about living in your car when you're broke, because I fully understand that not everyone decides to live the nomad lifestyle. Not everyone wants to move into their car. Not everyone wants to live in it. Not everyone wants to sleep in their car. There are people out there that do choose to sleep in their car, or like me, there are oftentimes I travel, and, I travel a lot, and I really dislike motels. Matter of fact, I hate them. And a lot of times, depending on when I stop, a lot of times I'll stop late, and, so I will just sleep in my car, because, I'm more comfortable doing that. I don't like motels. I don't like the routine of having to, get up at a certain time, and, I feel like oftentimes it's a waste of money for me, because I may not stop driving till 2 a.m., so it's a waste. But for people that, lose their place to live, like maybe they can't pay their rent anymore, maybe they lose their job and all they have is their car, and maybe they are broke. It's not a matter of should they live in their car. I mean, obviously if they're living, if they're broke, if they're in a broke situation, then the answer is no. They should not be living in their car, because there's so many things to factor in when you're living in a vehicle. It's not without expense. It's not. A lot of people think, it's going to be cheaper living in a car, and there's a lot of vloggers out there that have shown that they have done a very good job of living in their vehicles, and it has been cheaper. But there are, as with every choice in life, there are trade-offs. As far as the nomad lifestyle goes, excuse me, it's a little late. But I was really thinking about this, and I wanted to get it out. Anyway, there are trade-offs. In my case, some of the trade-offs can be, food. Some of the things that I miss. Now, I never liked cooking that much, so that wasn't a big thing, but because I eat mostly raw fruits and vegetables. But I do miss preparing my meals. There are people out there that are living in their vehicles that are, they got little propane things, they cook out the back of their cars, whatever. For me, that's not me. I either buy my vegetables and fruits raw, or or whatever. Usually I just buy them raw, or I go into stores like Walmart or Publix or Ingles Markets or Kroger or whatever, and I buy fruits and vegetables already pre-cut, already ready to go, salads, or I'll go to Subway. For me, that works. That works for me. And it especially works because I only like raw fruits and vegetables, and I don't eat, meat really, so that just works fine for me. Anyway, I'm getting off on a little tangent there, but anyway, as far as should a broke person live in their car, well, obviously the answer to that is no. But for people that adopt this lifestyle or get into this lifestyle, some people go into this lifestyle because they want to do it. They make a plan, or they just get tired of maybe living in a house. Maybe they don't like having roommates. Maybe they don't like paying rent, whatever. Maybe they just want to check it out and see what it's like. They make a plan, they move into a car, a van, if there's, ideally a van is a better choice, but some people just say, okay, I'll just, whatever. I'll try the lifestyle out. If I don't like it, I'll go home. but, I'll go back and I'll get another apartment. Or maybe they don't give up their home at all. They just try it out for a few months, and then if they don't like it, then they give up their apartment. But a lot of people don't do that. There are many, many instances of people, and there are many instances of vloggers as well, that were essentially forced into the lifestyle. They didn't go to this lifestyle because they, woke up one day and they decided they wanted to be a nomad, or they wanted to live on the road, or whatever. It was just probably a series of things that got them to the point of living in their car. They lost their jobs. They lost their apartment. Maybe they couldn't pay the utilities, whatever the case may be. And, they're living paycheck to paycheck anyway already. And things just fell apart. And in a situation like that, it only takes one card to go down for the whole deck to fall, just like dominoes. But, oops. Anyway. So, sorry. Anyway, it doesn't take a lot not in today's society for one domino to knock the whole, knock them all down. So it's not always a matter of, should a person has no money or living paycheck to paycheck live in their vehicle? The answer is no, or at least in my opinion, the answer is no. But of course, everyone has, their own opinion about it and can choose and decide for themselves. That's my opinion. I personally don't think that it is smart to move into a car if you don't have any money, if you're living paycheck to paycheck, or if you're broke. But if you, don't have a choice, then that may be the only option. The next option behind that is sleeping in the woods or sleeping in the forest, and no one wants to do that. I mean, people do it, but no one wants to sleep on a park bench, or no one, if they can get out of it, wants to do that. But if you're going to adopt this, bottom line is this: whether you decide you want to live a nomadic lifestyle, or you are forced into it, you must have a plan. Excuse me again. Anyway, I'm getting a little hungry and it's getting late, but I want to finish this video. Anyway, you must have a plan. If you can see it coming, then, maybe you have an opportunity to maybe save a little bit of money before you move into your car. If not, if the dominoes fall quickly and you don't have that opportunity and you're just shoved into your car, that doesn't mean that you can't make a plan. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't make a plan, because you should make a plan. You should sit down and write down some of the things you need to do. Some of the things you need to do definitely are, maximize your income as much as possible. That can be with, a second job, side jobs, could be mowing people's grass, could be what they call, side hustles, So, again, extra income, either, get an extra job, mow grass. I know that some of the stuff I'm saying sounds hokey, but, second job, if you can do that, mow grass, whatever, side jobs, any kind of side job, walking a dog, whatever you can do to bring in more income, legally, of course, side hustles, whatever, if you can make money online, by all means do it. If you can make money blogging, do it. If you have a website and you want to put affiliate programs on it, and you can want to make money doing that, and you can make money doing it, do it. If you want to make, you want to sell on eBay, maybe you have stuff you need to, maybe you had to move your stuff into a storage unit, and you decide you want to get rid of some of it. Why not try eBay? Sell some of it that way. Do pay a small fee for eBay though. But that's how I started. But I started on selling on eBay way back in like 2000, like 20 years ago, when selling on eBay wasn't that hard. Actually started on Yahoo Auctions. Used to have a auction site actually. But if you want to do videos, you can do that too. Whatever, blogging, vlogging, whatever you want to do. Extra jobs, side hustles, whatever you can find that's legal, that you can make extra money. That's number one. Trying to maximize your income and bring in as much income as you can bring in legally. Number two, save money. That again is, if you are in a situation where maybe you've got a job, maybe you already have a full-time job, and or whatever, full-time job or full-time income, or full-time job. I'll say full-time job. Maybe you have a full-time job, and you can't, you don't have time for side jobs or side hustles or a second job. Then you're going to have to work on you're going to have to work on saving your money, and there again you can maximize your income by saving money. So that's number two. Get a second job, maximize your income, get a second job, save money, and with that saving money, spend wisely. Of course, you don't want to, when it comes to things like food, you don't want to sacrifice too much. You still want to eat as healthy as you can, because that's important. And of course, make a plan. Like I said, in the very beginning, you got to make a plan, maximize your income with a second job, or side job, save money. The way I do it, I actually, I have a goal, and my goal is about $500 a month. That's what I do. Now, if it really should be more, but with my income, that's about what I manage to save. So each month I save on average of about $500 to $700 a month. And I'm consistent with that. And that's something else. You need to be consistent with whatever amount of money you can save. You need to be consistent with it. If you may not be able to save $500 or $700 or $800, you may only be able to save $300. But if you can be consistent with that every month, then after a few months, of course, you'll have, more than more than in 6 months you'll have $1,800. So that's important too. Be consistent with however much money you're saving, because you don't want to say, you can't be save $300 this month and then go 3 months and save $5, and then, and maybe you save $300. Maybe you say, maybe your goal is 300, say, I'm just throwing that out there. And then you only save $300 maybe twice. That's not, consistent. So that's no good. That's not going to work. Whatever number that is works for you. In my case, $500 is the number I shoot for. And I'm consistent with that. I regularly save usually over $500. $500 is my goal, and I routinely save usually sometimes in the anywhere from $500 to $800 a month. But $800 a month or $750 a month, that's an off month for me. I don't usually save that much, but regardless, that's a good month. That's a good month when I save that much. And then there are some months I may drop down and I only save $400 or $300, and those are not such good months. But then I might make it up and save $700 the next. So the average is probably about $500, but my average is between $500 and $600 a month. Now, for you, depends. You may be able to do more than that. You may be able to do way better than me, and if you can, perfect, great. If you can save $800 a month, by all means, save $800 a month. $1,000 a month, oh, even better. But personally, I figure $500. I mean, I don't know. It depends on each person's income. So, you may be in a situation where $100 a month is all you can save. But if you can consistently save $100 a month, then that's a start. You save it. You put it aside into a separate account. And this is how I do it. You put it into a separate account, and you don't touch that money. That money is set aside for emergencies. Emergencies meaning if you're living in your car repairs. Because sooner or later, when you're on the road, you're going to have to do a car repair. I don't care how new your car is. Sooner or later, you're going to do repairs or you're going to do maintenance. If you don't do the maintenance, then that's going to lead to expensive repairs. So you have to do repairs or maintenance or both. You got to do your oil changes. That, of course, doesn't cost a whole lot. That's maybe $40 every oil change, every 5,000 miles. So that's not so bad. But I mean, but you have to be prepared. You have to save as much money as you can in your emergency fund consistently every month, so that if your car breaks down on the side of the road and they tell you it's going to be $500 to fix it, then you've got the $500 to fix it. Let's say, God forbid, they tell you it's going to be $1,000 to fix it. Then that's what's going to cost, and you're going to have to pay that $1,000 to fix it. If you're going to live in your car and it costs several $100s to do a repair, there's no way around it. You also have to factor in, if you need a motel. Let's say you need a motel while they're fixing the car. Maybe they can't do it in one day. Maybe it takes 3 or 4 days to do the repairs. You've got to factor in that you're going to need money for a motel for that amount of time. Either a rental car or a motel. I really don't recommend a rental car if you can get out of it. If you've got to leave your car for a couple days at a shop, I would just go motel, just get someone from the shop. I usually go to dealers, but, and so they're pretty good about that. They'll just take you to a motel, and they'll come back and get you. And, there's no reason not to go that route. Because you're paying about the same amount of money, maybe slightly less, slightly more. It averages out. You can usually find pretty decent rates at a motel. If you go to a site like booking.com, you can get some good rates at motels. So that's something else you got to factor in. You have to factor in, motel. But what if you're on the road and you get really bad news, and the shop says you got to have a new engine or a new transmission? Now, that's going to be a new engine. That can be anywhere from $5,000 to $8,000, depending on where you go. Transmission in the neighborhood of $2,500 to $2,000 to $3,000. So you're looking at, those are very, very expensive repairs. Suspension work can add into a lot of money. I know 3 years ago I had to do suspension, wheel bearings went bad, and some other suspension issues, and I paid close to $2,000. I think all told, I paid almost $1,800 to Actually, I take that back. I paid $1,750 at the shop to do the wheel bearings and all the suspension work, and then I paid another $400 to get brand new tires. So $2,200 to fix my car, and I didn't have a choice. I had to fix it. If I hadn't fixed it, my wheel bearing would have fallen out of the front end. So, and I would have either been dead, or my car would have been severely mangled. So those are things you got to factor in, you know. If I need car repairs, you know, how am I going to pay for it? You know, and that's where your emergency fund comes in, where you can dip into your emergency fund. I don't like letting my emergency fund drop below $2,000. I like to try to keep it well above that, so that, you know, if something happens, you know, I can pay for the car and still have some left over, and just in case something else happens right after, you know, said expensive repair, because it can. So those are things to think about. Another thing, what if you get sick? You know, and you got to stay for a few days or a week, even a week or two in a motel. You have to factor that in. That's another thing to factor in. And that's assuming you don't have family members that you can go live with, or you don't have your own place. If you don't have your own place, then it's either going to be family members or a motel. But for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to say, hey, maybe you're too far away, maybe you can't stay with your family, whatever the case may be, you're going to have to get alternative accommodations, such as, if you're sick, maybe a motel. So those are all things you have to factor in. Now, the car repairs and the car issues, those are the biggest ones, in my opinion, that you are really going to have to really think about and really factor in. And of course, oops, I hate to put my hand up like that. But anyway, and the other one, of course, is if you get sick. Those are the two big ones right now. But of course, there's probably other things too. I mean, there's many other things that can happen. You know, if you get sick, maybe you gotta stay in a motel for a few days. Maybe you gotta go to a doctor, you know, and if you have insurance, great. They'll pay all but the copay, hopefully. If not, you're stuck with the bill. You know, maybe you get, you know, a bad tooth, an abscess tooth. You got to go to the dentist, you know. These are things that you can't just say, I'll put on the back burner for later. You know, it's a situation that you have to deal with, and you have to deal with it promptly. So, can you deal with that situation? Do you have the money to deal with that situation? What are you going to do if you don't have the money to deal with that situation? What if you simply don't have it? Do you have family you can turn to you know, aid in your to help you? If you don't, are you going to be reduced to having to stand on a street corner with a sign and you know, and beg, and you know, try to rely on the goodness of strangers? You might get a little money that way, probably not enough to deal with a major car repair though. But you know, if you know, I'm never going to say that it'll never happen. It can happen. That kind of situation can happen to anyone. And ending up in your car, ending up homeless can happen to anyone. Now, a lot of people, I know a few people that say, you know, living in your car is not really homelessness. Legally, it is considered homelessness. If you're in your car, you're living in your car, and you don't have another physical residence that you own or are paying rent at, then you're considered homeless. If you go from couch to couch, or you live with one family member and go to another, it's legally considered homelessness. Anyway, again, that's kind of off topic of what this is about. The topic here is living in your car when you're broke, because I don't want to say should you, because not everyone has the option of saying, well, no, I'm broke and I don't want to, so I'm not going to. Because if you don't pay your rent or can't pay your rent, then sooner or later you're going to be evicted, and there's no way around that. Maybe you're living with a family member and they don't want you there anymore. Whatever the case may be, you lose your accommodations, your physical residence, and you have to leave. So it's not a matter of should you, it's more of can you? And the answer to that is yes, you can live in your car. Can you do it and keep your head above water? If you plan and you budget correctly and you save money, yes, I believe you can do it and keep your head above water. Can you do it and stay healthy? That's, in my opinion, a little iffier because it all depends on your health issues. If you're an elderly person with a lot of health issues, being able to do it in your car and doing it healthily, I think the answer is no. If you're younger and you're healthy and yes, you probably can. If you're middle-aged and healthy, probably can. If you're older, considered a senior and healthy, you probably can, dependent again on how many health issues or if you have health issues. Some seniors are healthier than 30-year-olds, so that's anyone's guess there. Should a senior be living in his car? No. The answer is no. Should anyone be living in their car? My opinion, no. But some people do it. Some people are pushed into a situation and they have to. My situation, I wasn't really, I wasn't pushed into travel. I started to traveling because I wanted to. But the times that I was in my car, or that there were times when I was in my car, not for long periods, maybe only a few months, but I was kind of pushed into it. It wasn't really a choice. That being said, it's getting late and I'm going to get off. The other thing I will add is that once you get into this lifestyle, whether you are forced into the lifestyle or you decide on the lifestyle by choice, once you've been in the nomadic lifestyle for a while, it is very hard to break free from. It is very hard to go back to what people call a normal life. Society calls a normal life living in a physical residence and sleeping in the same bed every night, in the same house every night, and getting up and going to a job every day and having a routine. I will say this. Once you get into this, into the nomadic lifestyle, whether by choice or by force, it is hard to break free from it. At least for me, it's hard to break free from not having anyone, not living with anyone, having less of a routine. Those are things that it's hard to break free from. Being able to travel, just having the option of being able to just get in your car and travel without anyone to answer to, without a spouse you gotta tell where you're going. If you're lucky enough to make your income online, that's a big plus. But once you get into the lifestyle, it's I want to say from personal experience from someone who's been traveling a long time, it's hard to break free. It's hard to break free from wanting to travel and doing it in your vehicle. It can be very, I guess, I want to say, this is probably not something I should say, but I believe that at least for me, it becomes addicting because there's a certain amount of freedom and peace that comes from being less structured. At least for me, that's what for me. Less stress all the way around. Peace, freedom, and less stress is what I got from being able to travel and being able to just, if I don't like the town I'm in, I leave. I go to another one that I like better. I mean, that's for me. That's and the not liking to be tied down. So I guess that's my little rant on that. I believe that, once you get in a lifestyle, it's hard to break free from. For others, they may really hate the lifestyle and not want to be in it. If you are one of those people, then you're going to have to make a really serious plan, and you're going to have to count every penny, and you're going to have to figure out a way to get back into the normal lifestyle of living in a house, and you're going to have to try to figure out whatever works for you and make it work in a regular house and not get back to the point of living in a vehicle. So anyway, that's all I'm going to say on this, and it's getting late, and I'm going to eat and probably watch a little TV or watch a movie and go to bed. So I hope you got something from my video. If you didn't, I'm sorry, but I hope you did. Anyway, God bless.